The tabbed UI component includes an option for integrated login. However, there are situations where a user may desire to use a UX component for login in place of the integrated login. Here we show a tabbed component that a user has already logged in. As we can see, we have the user name here at the top and we have a logout link. We have a series of buttons shown here on the left which opens tabs. If we log out, the page completely reloads, and now we show a UX component in a login tab that allows us to log in through the UX component. As we can see, this tab cannot be closed. There are also no buttons here on the left. In this case, we're going to use an alternative login from LinkedIn. The user has already logged in once by LinkedIn, so it'll simply open a page. LinkedIn will validate the person, and it'll completely reload this tabbed UI page, which now shows these buttons and hides the link. Once again, we log out. We can also use conventional login. And when we log in, we want to completely reload the page again. So we click the login button and it completely reloads the page, and now we see the same effect. We'll take a look at how this is built. First, we'll look at the UX component. We can see we have integrated login, and then we have buttons for the alternative logins. If we look at the design, we can see the fields here for the integrated login and also the buttons for alternative logins. For example, on a button for Google, we can look at this and we're using the Action JavaScript to log in with alternative login provider. This particular method will always reload the parent page after login. If we come and look at the properties, one of the things we wish to do is we have integrated login turned on, so we can use the integrated login. This is optional. We could use just alternative logins if we wished. And logout does a full page reload even though we don't have a logout on this component. However, in a conventional login, we want to reload the whole page. On alternative logins, these events never fire because the page is completely reloaded. However, on an integrated login, we do go through this event. So therefore, we can check if the login succeeded, and if the login succeeds, we then put a redirect URL, which is the page that contains the tabbed UI component. So we do a complete page reload. If we take a look at the tabbed UI itself, we can see what this looks like when the UX is installed. As we can see, this tab cannot be closed. We also have no links or buttons on the left. We'll take a look at how this is built. First, we look at the tabbed UI button, which opens the UX component. Note that we have it set as a hyperlink instead of a button, and we have no text. Because there's no text on the hyperlink is not visible. If we come down to a show hide expression, we're checking if a user is logged in. If no one is logged in, this value is blank, the button is shown. If someone is logged in, the value is not blank, the button and the tab are hidden. Also, because we don't want to be able to close the button, we have also unchecked the Can Close button, and we have checked to auto launch on startup so it is always visible. All of the other buttons have security applied, as we can see here, so one or more of these buttons will be visible after login. Come over and look at the tabbed UI properties. Because we're doing full page reloads, we want to uncheck prompt when navigate away from the page. Otherwise, we get a warning message when we try to go out and do alternative logins or when we do a reload after an integrated login. We come down here and we do check to have login, logout links, primarily because we want to have a logout link. We don't want a login link because we're using the UX component, so once again we put no text in here and that hyperlink is not shown. The login action does a full reload, and we can see that we have filled in the other properties there. The end result is, as we saw earlier, when we put this together, here we have the view with someone logged in. We're showing the logged in user, and if we log out, we now show the UX component that can be used for the login.